It's your daily dose of Donna. Happy Friday. We have made it to Friday. Thank you so much for being here on a delayed start of my show. If you are here on YouTube, you may be able to tell your girl has not slept well. And by your girl, that's me. I have not slept well. So today is going to be quite a delirious episode. I'm going to start calling when Donna doesn't sleep. I guess I'm going to start talking about myself in third person. This is a Donna Delirious daily dose. Daily dose of delirious Donna. And you know what? Every time I don't sleep a lot, those episodes tend to be the most fun. They're wackadoodle time. I just took my daily vitamins. I'm not sponsored by them yet. Don't worry. I feel like it will come, but I'm obsessed with these Groons. Is that how you call it? Groons or green? They've got to be called Groons, right? The two dots over the U. I'm trying to get a deal with them for like a discount code for you guys because I love these guys. So I just popped a packet. I don't take drugs, but I take vitamins. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling ready to go. I've got so many stories. I'm a wackadoser. Oh my gosh, that's so good. It's a wackadoser time. Those of you guys who are annoyed with me today, get ready. Get ready. Now, we're going to talk about the background because I didn't realize that my wallpaper background, and those of you that only listen to the audio version of Daily Dose of Donna, sorry. Let me just tell you something. You thought politics were difficult? My wallpaper has been a discourse in the comments. You would think that this is, Biden and Trump, whether or not to keep this wallpaper. I didn't realize that this was a game changer in so many people's lives. But we'll get to it. We'll talk about it all. We have to talk about Russell Brand. We have to talk about Blake and Justin. We're going to talk about Teddi Mellencamp. We're talking about Kaitlyn Bristowe. We're going to talk about Jax Taylor. I know. Whoa. Okay, everyone get your buckets out for the disgust that's going to induce. We're going to talk about Tom Hanks's daughter who wrote a memoir. We're going to talk about Southern Charm. You guys, the stories are aplenty. Just get ready. Just get ready, get cozy, get yourself a drink. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. It is your daily dose of delusional something. All the things. It's your daily dose of Donna. Now, if you're not watching the live comments, you got to go into the live replay because you'll see how crazy the comments are about my wallpaper. Still now, keep the wallpaper. Get rid of the wallpaper. The wallpaper is nasty. I can't even look at your wallpaper. I can't even watch you, Donna. The wallpaper is so disgusting. The wallpaper makes me sick. I literally get seizures from your wallpaper. Your wallpaper sends me to the hospital every single day. No, Donna, don't change your wallpaper or else I'll unsubscribe from your video. The wallpaper is the only thing that keeps me coming back. Oh my God. You guys are so fickle. I don't know what to do. Now, what would be ideal is if I had the funds, the budget, that I could just go like a Clueless, remember Cher from Clueless? I could press a button, change, press a button, change. I'm not a set. This is my bonus room. I work from home. In this room, I wish I could just take you with me. I've got a Peloton. I've got a TV. I've got a couch. I've got weights. This is like a hang for all in this room. Okay, I'm not a set. However, this is a peel and stick situation. If you can't tell by the gorgeous, amazing job that I did. Do you see this situation? Yeah, some of you guys have pointed out that I didn't do a very good job. I'm a peel and stick virgin. Okay, this is my first time peeling and sticking. But what I'm going to do is I did order new wallpaper. It's a muted version. And what I'm thinking I'll do, I'll give you guys a little, it's a little messy, but I have an arcade situation over here for my kids. And what I think I'll do is maybe I'll put, see there's the arcade with my rainbow. Okay. There's the rainbow. Maybe on that side, I'll put a different version and I can kind of like I can switch it up. Now, what another person did was they gave me a great suggestion, lights that can change colors. So I'm going to surprise you guys every day. It's going to be daily dose of surprise. Okay. Just get ready. You're going to get what you ask for. You're never going to know. It's going to be like Willy Wonka. You're not going to know what you're going to open. You're going to say, oh, let's see what we get on Daily Dose of Donna today. Hold on. Let me just open. Oh, shocker. Didn't know it was going to be purple. It's red. Whoa, it's green. Then I'll see how many times you guys complain. Daily dose of a new background. Get ready. How many people are going to unsubscribe then? Do we need the rainbow back? Now, I will tell the wallpaper tastes like snozberries. Mix Tiles, you know that company Mix Tiles, they're a sponsor for me, not this week, but I can't remember which week. So they had me place an order because they want me to use them as like to show. So I placed an order of a bunch of artwork and I'm wondering, should I put artwork behind me? I mean, the problem is this was a great test. You can't make the world happy. I can ask you guys a million things. You can't make the world happy. So you got to make yourself happy. The problem is when you don't sleep, nothing makes you happy. One thing makes you happy 1 hour, and then the next day you have no. We just have to keep going. So that's why I used my polling today. I asked you guys, I said, what story should I go over first? And I gave you guys an option in the polls, in the comments. I said, what should we go over first today? Let me put this on mute. I'm watching myself. That's weird. What story should we go to first? Blake and Justin or Russell Brand? Blake and Justin won. Sorry, guys. I had 204 live votes in the chat this morning, and Blake and Justin won with 61%. So we're going to start, and I'll give you guys a poll for the next story. So stick around, hit the like button, stick around, and subscribe to get in the live chat and be able to pull it up. We're going to start with a Blake and Justin update, but I'm not going to spend all day because we've got so many stories. So I will just give you guys some tidbits. Last night, I did go live and I spoke I went through the entire lawsuit or the response from Justin Baldoni's team over to Blake Lively. It was chef's kiss. Brian Friedman, giving you all my flowers. Brian Friedman is amazing. He is the lawyer that I would absolutely 1000% hire if I had the money. If I had the money to buy myself a nice set for Daily Dose of Donna, I would hire Brian Friedman as my attorney, right? That's what I would do. Brian Friedman is incredible. How do you do it in the French? Incredible. He's so good because he was creative. He was creative in his response. And he did things that I don't think I would have ever thought of. He was very, very smart in his response. So let's go to the TMZ article. His TMZ on TMZ, gave good little assessments basically on what either of them did. Like I said, you can go over to my live stream from last night where I cover for all you legal people, I cover every single line of that 45-page document. But essentially in short terms, Justin Baldoni, his team to Blake Lively basically says, no way this is over. You are not getting out of this one, Blakey. I know you're not used to hearing the word no, but you are not getting out of this one, my love. No way this is over. The First Amendment says so. Justin Baldoni is clapping back at Blake Lively's attempt to get his lawsuit against her tossed out of court, while once again accusing her of trying to destroy his career. No shit. Okay, she really has destroyed his career. I know that a lot of you guys think, oh, Justin will be fine after this if he wins. I don't be mad at me. Don't be mad at me, but I know this business. Not maybe more than a lot of you guys, but I have a feeling he's not going to be fine after this, no matter what. I hate to say it. I really, really don't believe that he's going to be very okay after this, no matter what happens. Even if he wins, I still think he's going to have a stain on him. Once you were nailed for sexual harassment, no matter what, there's going to be those people out there that will always say, I don't know how much we want to put Justin Baldoni on our sets. Now, I think he can, if he gets out of this okay, I think he'll probably be able to self-fund, and Wayfarer projects will still be okay. And luckily, he still has Steve Sarowitz, et cetera, and hopefully he makes money from this. And he will have fans like us that will continue to support him. But I'm wondering about like those big projects, the Universals and the Disneys and the big studios. Will they support Justin is the real question. And that is concerning to me. It really is. I hate to say it. You guys. What are your thoughts on that? Am I alone in feeling like a little bit concerned about Justin Baldoni's career after this, no matter which way it goes? Yeah, a lot of you guys feel the same way. Bling is the New Black has it right, though. She says he may not be fine, but he'll still be hotter than Ryan Reynolds. Well, that's no question. That's not hard. Ryan Reynolds looks to me like, I don't know. I think I'd rather have sex with Cody Brown. I think I'd rather sleep with Cody Brown from Sister Wives than Ryan Reynolds these days. Honestly, true question. Cody Brown or Ryan Reynolds? Right now in the comments, I'm going to ask it as a poll. This is a serious question. Would you rather date Cody Brown or Ryan? I told you today was going to be a toughie. Cody Brown, Ryan Reynolds. So many people are going to be like, who the hell is Cody Brown? Suki says, can lesbians vote? Absolutely. This is open for the world. Lesbians can still think about men, right? I can think about women. Who is Cody? Mystery Singer says, I'd rather date a chicken. Oh my God. Ew, Ryan's winning. No. Sandra says, oh my God, I just spit out my Coke Zero when Donna said she would rather sleep with Cody Brown. Listen, I told you I'm tired. Where's my Cody wig? Hold on. Donna, did you say you'd rather have sex with me? I got my work gloves and I'm ready to go. Let's go into the bedroom and get culpable together. Yeah. I'm looking for a sister wife and I heard you're available. Let's go. Yeah. I heard you think I'm hot. I've got a Coyote Pass house to build and I know you're available. Ryan Schmennel. You know what I'm saying? Let's go drink a beer. Okay, today's going to be an interesting day. I feel it. Wow. Should I just run away from this live right now? Cody Brown's winning at 50%. I kind of really want Cody Brown to win just for this moment. You guys, if Cody Brown wins, this is the first poll he's ever won when it comes to sleeping with someone. I mean, if Cody Brown imagine sleeping with Ryan Reynolds these days. Hey, Blake, you want to come and pull my dead? What would Ryan Reynolds say in bed? Hey, you think you're funny? Well, you're not. Now say it 50 to 75 times. Okay. Let's move on. Cody Brown is winning. Cody Brown is winning the poll. 54% out of 120 votes. All right, let's move on to the next part of this story. I can't believe this story. It's going here. Baldoni just filed his response to Blake's motion to dismiss his lawsuit in federal court, giving several reasons why the judge should not let the actress off the hook. In the docs, Baldoni accuses Blake of orchestrating, participating in, and directing a smear campaign designed to ruin the reputations and careers of the Wayfarer parties. Baldoni, of course, is the co-founder of Wayfarer Studios. We know all this, blah, blah, blah. In this latest filing, Baldoni says there is sufficient evidence that Lively took a responsible part in publishing each of the allegedly defamatory statements by approving or authorizing them prior to publication. Baldoni also points out that Lively told the New York Times a false and damning story about an insidious PR sabotage operation deployed as revenge for sexual harassment complaints, with the knowledge and intent that the newspaper would publish the false story. Baldoni went on to list other reasons why the judge should deny Blake's motion, including that she acted out of malice. That was amazing. Brian Friedman said Miss Lively and her circle of Hollywood elites cannot prevent my clients from exercising their constitutional right to petition the court to clear their names from her false and harmful claims. Amazing. Friedman continued, what Miss Lively is attempting to do is to set a dangerous precedent by barring the courthouse doors to my clients and punishing them for having their day in court, a right protected by the First Amendment. This right protects not only Mr. Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties, but all Americans in the future who have false accusations levied against them and seek relief from our justice system. That's very Elle Woods of him. You know, this feels like a movie. I want to see the briefcase closed and say, I am done, Your Honor. Now, Blake Lively, of course, because she always has to have the last word. In this case, it's not her, it's her attorneys, Ezra Hudson. And I'm not against her attorneys for having the last word. This is the way this works, has responded. Blake Lively has now responded and says she's outraged. Her team is outraged by Justin Baldoni's latest declaration in the bombastic PR war, claiming her former co-star thinks sexual harassment victims should not be protected under the law. So after Brian Friedman and Justin Baldoni have responded to Blake's motion to dismiss and to get her lawsuit thrown out, basically, opposing it, saying that she allegedly orchestrated, participated, and directed a smear campaign designed to ruin the reputations and careers of his production company. Now, Blake's legal team, that's attorneys Mike Gottlieb and Ezra Hudson, tell TMZ specifically, that's right. Justin Baldoni. I imagine, even though I know that they're like normal people, I just imagine them with like a cigar. Let's find a cigar. What can I use? I mean, I could use a pen, but let's be like more fun. What do I get? What do I get? That's right. Justin Baldoni, the man who has built his brand on supposedly speaking up for victims, believes that the First Amendment rights of victims of sexual harassment and assault to speak out should give way to the rights of perpetrators to sue their victims into oblivion. They make him sound like such a disgusting POS. The way that they make Justin Baldoni sound, like he's this little, like he's a, like, you know what I mean? They make him sound like a little, like a rat. Like, that's how Blake Lively's team make Justin Baldoni sound. Oh, that Justin Baldoni, this man that like loves women, just wants to shut them up. Just wants to shut all of the women up. They add that Justin and his lawyer, Brian Friedman, are so hell-bent on destroying Blake that they're trying to shed a law meant to protect victims and send a chilling effect to others from speaking out. Friedman, of course, sees it exactly the opposite, telling us Miss Lively and her circle of Hollywood elites, I already said this sentence just now, bottom line, Neither side is backing down. For the benefit of the dosers, for the benefit of the YouTube people, for the benefit of all of us, this shit ain't going anywhere. And I said it last night on my live. Like, I don't even know where I'm going to go from this, because I truly, and this is honestly, we're going to talk about the donut shop in a second, Christina. That's my next story. I don't even know where to go with this. Like, I said it earlier in the week that I feel a little bit like my brain is like, "Mwah." I feel like Gumby. Remember Gumby? Was that his name, or Gumbo? Gumby. He was like that character that was like flat and like smushed, and you could like squeeze him and move him around. Like, that's how I feel with this case already. Cause I'm like, they are literally melding, pushing, squeezing, moving. I've felt like I've heard the same exact sentence 4,000 times in a different way. Now, I will say, Baldoni's team, what they wrote in response to Blake Lively's motion to dismiss yesterday, did bring up some new points and was actually written really well and smart in certain ways. So go back and watch that, my video from last night. But like, oh my God, just get us to court. Just get us to court with this case. The last part of this story that is getting some press, and I have not covered this that much. I mean, I did cover it, of course, the first day that it came out about the donut shop. I'm a little torn on this one, you guys. I have to be honest. This crazy donut shop press. Can we talk about this for a second? Bren says, Donna, do you have an address where we can mail you props? Actually, I do. I have like my husband's studio is where you can mail me any like mail and gifts or props or anything like that. So jump into, if you're part of the Facebook group, Bren, that's a great way to ask. Go to the Facebook group, Daily Dose of Donna. If not, you can send me an email. The email address is here connected to the YouTube account, and then we'll give it to you. Thank you so much. And totally, I mean, that's how I got Craig's small hands, is from you guys. Okay. So the donut story. Let's talk about this. And I'm actually curious what you guys think about it. Very interested about what you guys think about this. So let me know in the comments what you think. So the donut story, she had done this PR gag, or I mean, I'm assuming this is a PR gag, that she went and worked at her friend's donut shop in Connecticut over the weekend. And it was Sunday. I was traveling, so I kind of like didn't really cover this story that much. But I did notice when I covered it that like the first thing I thought was her hair was all over the donuts. And if you guys watch my show on Monday, I even said like, that's gross. That's the first thing I noticed. I talked about how when I go to my gym and I'm like doing push-ups on the floor, it's a black floor of the gym, you know, like those mats. All I see is blonde hair everywhere. It's gross. And I have blonde hair and I shed. And you see blonde hair everywhere. And she's got this really long, stringy blonde hair. So it's gross to think about, like sticky donuts. When I go to my donut shop, I have got these great donut shops around me and I get donuts a lot for my kids. I have never once seen anyone with long hair not tied back, especially like, and that's when they're just collecting the donuts to put in the box. But I've never seen anyone working in the kitchen over the donuts or over the bagels or over the sandwiches or over the sushi. Like, I want to vomit just even think about that. I can't even imagine, you guys. I'm a texture person. I'm like a food. Like I would die, right? The idea of having hair in my mouth is something that I can't even fathom right now. This is not the time. This is not the place. We can't do that. Okay. Life is short. Let's not think about that. But because she did this at her friend's donut shop, and she was called out. It was the donut shop was called Rise Donuts in Wilton. Now, the owner of this donut shop, this is her friend, apparently, invited her to do it and thought maybe this was going to be a great moment for them to get some free press, for Blake to get great free press, for all these people, you know, etc. But the hair thing ended up taking the majority of the press, and it ruined her whole, like, look at me, I'm being really fun and cute and just like handing out donuts. Bad move on Blake's part, and really bad move on the owner of the shop's part, who should have put the health and the safety of their own store first. And that was a bad move. But what's happening now is crazy because I guess a lot of people have called in. It became national news, probably international news. And I guess a lot of people have now called in and sent emails and called Yelp or written into Yelp and called the health department and have complained about Rise Donuts in Wilton about the fact that she wasn't wearing a hairnet or hadn't had her hair tied back. So people are upset. And a spokesperson for the Wilton Health Department has now confirmed that they've received many complaints about Lively working in the kitchen without a hairnet covering hat or hair tie to keep her flaxen mane. What does flaxen mean? Flaxen. Mane from shedding all over the donuts, and that the business is under investigation. So this is just absolutely horrible, horrible for business for Rise Donuts. It's unclear what possible health code violation sanctions or fines could be enforced on the owners, Hugh Mangum and Laura Malone, who only acquired the former pizzeria in 2022, which feels really sad for them. I don't know a lot about Hugh Mangum and Laura Malone. Like, I actually don't know anything about them, and I actually feel kind of bad for them. And you guys, don't be mad at me because I obviously I'm not a big fan of Blake, but like that actually makes me sad for these business owners. Does anyone else feel bad about that? Like, I understand they're friends and like it makes me sad. This is a small business owner who literally is now getting like his business potentially getting taken down because of rabid fans of Justin Baldoni. And I understand that this is a mistake on his part, but it does bum me out for him. Unfortunately, he had to like turn off comments on his account. If you go, okay, so I looked him up. Now I'm gonna like, well, maybe I shouldn't even like show you him on Instagram, but he has been on Food Network. He's been on a show called Barbecue Brawl, season number 5. You guys, I'm so sorry, but my mom is picking up. Are you there? My mom is picking up my kids right now, and um, you know how that is when the mom is picking up the kids from school and she's texting like, "Where are they?" And now I'm like, "Are you not there?" Okay, she better be with my kids. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. My kids have a short day today because spring break is upon us. Anyone else going through that fun? 2 weeks of no school. Good times. Good times. Good. Anyway, so he was on the Food Network. He's the owner of 2 restaurants or three things. And it's going to be a lot, right? Um, it, it, I don't like. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the part of me that a lot of you guys won't like. I am not all out on like bullying the shit out of everyone. This is where I draw the line. And I don't want in any way someone for, I don't know. I just don't want a domino effect of every single person's businesses to go under because Blake Lively touched it. I do believe that they should have thought about this though. They messed up because Blake Lively was working under their restaurant. So like even my son is a 12-year-old and he interns at the snack shack at the baseball fields where my other son plays baseball. He's only 12. He doesn't get paid. He's an intern, but he's still handling food and handling the ices. So technically he is still working for them. He has to be responsible. This is what we were talking about in the lawsuit yesterday. There is a part of the lawsuit in Justin Baldoni's lawsuit or his response. We're basically saying that if you are an employee of another person's, you are technically culpable of anything that your employer is responsible for anything that you're doing. So that's why they're saying that Leslie Sloan was essentially hired by Blake Lively. So anything that Leslie Sloan said or did in that moment Blake Lively is responsible for it because she was hired by Blake Lively. That's their argument. So remember Starbucks? Remember how Starbucks just had to pay $50 million because the woman who worked for them, gave that hot tea through the drive-through and the top wasn't perfectly on and it knocked over in the drive-through when he got it and it spilled all over the guy's nether regions and burned the shit out of his what's it called? So there is responsibility there. I just feel bad. It's a smaller business. It's not Starbucks, Blame me, okay? This is just but that's the problem is when you bring someone like a Blake Lively into your life, just know all eyes are on you. And you're going to probably have a lot of haters on you. And Blake Lively walks in and doesn't think that the rules apply to her. And that's the problem with Blake. Blake does not think that rules apply to her. So was the owner there that day and said yeah, come on in and just take your pictures and pretend that you're an employee and all is good? Or did the owner say, hey, can you put your hair back because you're acting as an employee over my donuts and maybe you should probably put your hair back? And Blake is like, no, it's okay. Let's just take a couple pictures and all good. Elise says he must have thought about her hair and been apprehensive to ask her. I mean, that's my thinking. And if that's the case, then that's his mistake. You're right. I don't know. I guess I'm torn. That's how I feel about it. But yes, right now we're going on it, to figure it out. Rise Donuts currently has a 4.5 out of 5-star rating on Yelp, and all new reviews are paused as this business is being monitored by Yelp support team for content related to media reports. It's the practice of the donut shop to allow employees handling the food to where then a lot of Yelp users have written things. People are very upset about it. People are shocked by it. People are disgusted by it. But indeed, Rise Donuts have posted a silly staff Instagram video on October 11th where none of the employees were wearing hairnets. I mean, hairnets are asking a lot. I don't believe a lot of people are wearing hairnets these days. I'm not seeing hairnets when I go to my local bagel shop or donut shop. Are you guys? But I think at least your hair up. Are you guys seeing hairnets? I don't know. I just feel like her hair is really stringy and it's just right in front of the donuts. If it was even, it should have just been like this. It should just be back. That's it. That's not asking a lot, right? Put a cap on. Exactly. Done. But I guess the female owner, this is interesting. Bren says the female owner was there and she didn't have her hair up either. Interesting. Yeah, Emily says, I used to work at In-N-Out, no hairnets, but the hair and the hat for sure. There's got to be some sort of collection of hair. That's all. That's all you have to do. Nobody wears hairnets on Top Chef, but they all have their hair pulled back, Debbie says. I'm a chef and I wear a cap on. Oh, Joe, come over and make me dinner, please. I'm tired. And Coconut says, did you just fall out of a coconut tree? How Zach Peter was that of me? I feel bad. They are getting all the bad press, but honestly, businesses should stay away from Blake right now. There is nothing she can do good right now. I 100% agree. I would stay far away from Blake right now because people are going through it with a fine-tooth comb, just like they are with my wallpaper. My wallpaper is Blake Lively. You guys are attacking my wallpaper just like Blake Lively. All right, let's move on to our next story, and we will go on to Russell Brand really fast. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because it kind of does give me the ick, but this is actually really interesting. And I meant to talk about this Joe Gatto story also a couple weeks ago, and I didn't get into it, but I meant to talk about it because I find this fascinating. The whole Me Too movement. I'm not going to get into Harvey Weinstein and all of that, but this idea about Me Too. And the reason for Me Too is because when someone comes out with, one person out there saying this person was a sexual abuser or a predator, right? Usually what happens in those cases is that's the moment where multiple other victims say, it happened to me too. It happened to me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. And that's what we were thinking would have happened with Justin Baldoni. When Blake came out in December 20th, December 21st, that would be the moment that she would say, she would open her hands or raise her hands on December 20th or 21st and say, I was, harassed by Justin Baldoni. And that would be the day that all these apparent other people remember Dr. Leslie, that alleged wackadoodle doctor who's convinced that Justin Baldoni is this walking abuser. That would be the day that all these other women or all these other victims from college, from high school, from everywhere that Justin Baldoni has ever walked, that would be the day that they would probably come out, or that week or that month would say, me too, me too, me too, me too. But no one did. No one did. And that is the problem. That's why it feels a little concerning. Why all of a sudden, why now would all these women come out so much later? So with Russell Brand and that person, Joe Gatto, who's a comedian who recently it's like all these women have come out one after another after another. That's usually how it works. Diddy. That's usually the process. So this story with Russell Brand, I think, is important to explain, because this is usually the process of how it happens. Russell Brand has been charged, finally, even though all of these words and all these kind of accusations have been kind of going around for a long, long time, has been charged with grape, indecent assault, and SA by London's Metropolitan Police, with a comedian and TV host saying he is incredibly grateful to be able to defend the charges in court. The police said this afternoon that Brand has been charged with 1 count of grape. I have to say that, obviously. 1 count of indecent assault, 1 count of oral grape, and 2 counts of SA after detectives started investigating 18 months back. The investigation was sparked by allegations reported by Channel 4 and the Sunday Times, and the charges relate to 4 separate women. It has been alleged that Brand graped a woman in Bournemouth in 1999, indecently assaulted a woman in 2001 in Westminster, London, orally graped and SA'd a woman in Westminster in 2004, and between 2004 and 2005, SA'd a woman also in Westminster. A statement Friday said the police had issued a charge and requisition to the 50-year-old whose residence is in South England. The women who have made reports continue to receive support from specially trained officers. So far, and so it continues. He is supposed to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court. It sounds so fancy, by the way, when it's in England. Westminster Magistrates Court on May 2nd. He has been working and living in the U.S. full-time as of late, saying recently on his Rumble platform, I don't live in the U.K. anymore because I personally have experienced how the media, government, and judiciary, if you suddenly become an inconvenience, will find ways to attack and shut you down, he says. Brand could now be detained by U.S. police under an international arrest warrant, and the Home Office would submit a formal extradition request to Washington on behalf of the CPS to seek his return to Britain to stand trial. We have reached out to the Home Office for comment. He has responded on X and saying he was never a rapist. He says, I have never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray you can see that by looking in my eyes. I didn't realize that that's how you can see if someone has or has not. Okay. I am now, of course, going to have the opportunity to defend these charges in court, and I am incredibly grateful for that. So there's been a lot of documentaries and revelations on these Channel 4, programs that have come out. Lots of internal probes and research, and I don't even know. Okay. I'm curious what you guys think about this. I have not done a lot of research on the case. My gut feeling about Brand and the fact that so many women are coming out does feel like there is some truth to it. I don't know why. Am I wrong to believe that? I don't feel that way about Justin Baldoni, as you guys know, but for some reason I do about this. And tell me am I crazy for feeling this? I have to go deeper into the story, but basically this has happened already and he's denied the claims in 2023 before Channel 4 and the Sunday Times released this joint report. He insisted that it was always consensual, but then he was sued again. He's obviously admitted to drug and alcohol abuse in the past. But then recently he's changed and had a baptism. Not like that's, look at Tamra Judge. Okay. Baptisms don't completely change you. I don't know, you guys. I don't feel very confidently about him. Now, Sandy says, I love Russell Brand. So let me ask you a question. Do you not believe these charges? Do you think that these are all just like a witch hunt on him? Very interested in what you guys think. I'd love to go into it, but I won't go into it right now without doing more research. I'm just reporting the story. My gut feeling does not feel very confident about him, though. Cat says he was a drug addict and self-proclaimed sex addict for a while, but that also doesn't make you a sex offender. I'm not defending him or persecuting him. Let the courts decide. Well, that's what we're supposed to do with everything until we have more evidence, right? But it doesn't feel like we're doing that with Justin and Blake, so it'll be interesting. Okay, let's go to our next story since we've got so many of them. Let's go into a Teddi Mellencamp story. How about that? I found this, interesting. There's good news and then there's sad news. Well, the good news about Teddi is she finally does get some good news. I did talk about Teddi Mellencamp earlier in the week. And once again, I'm going to put this out here. Teddi Mellencamp and I have a personal relationship for years and years and years. I've known Teddi since before Oliver, my younger son, was born. So I'm going to be a little bit more sensitive always about Teddi. And if you come into my comments and you start saying she deserves it, she's a liar, she ruined it, you're blocked. Okay? Sorry. I won't handle that kind of stuff here on my channel or in my comments. There are some disgusting comments still coming into my channel about Teddi Mellencamp when she is fighting for her life. NO, won't fly, not okay. I was so disgusted when I reported the story when I was still in Chicago about the fact that she got this Us Weekly magazine cover. It was such a sad story. And that was before she found out she got 4 more tumors in her brain. And I got comments saying OMG, Donna, she is blah, 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 blah. I was like, who are these people? May they get judged the way they are judging Teddi, who was on The Housewives. What? God forbid anything happens to me and I get judged the way that these people are judging a reality star. As if she's responsible for, world wars. It's shocking. Hold on, I have to take a sip. I just don't understand that. At the end of the day, I'm a human being with a heart and I'm a mom. And this woman is a mother, a young mother. She's 43 years old. Shut the F up. I can't handle that. You're out of here. If you don't, you have to have a little bit of a heart for someone who's literally in the fight for her life right now, in a very, very scary fight for her life. She said in that interview, and I beg that you watch the Us Weekly YouTube interview. It's actually so sad. She talks about, I don't know if any of you guys actually watched it, but she talks about, and remember, when she's doing this interview, this is before she finds out that she actually has 4 more tumors. Prior to her knowing that her fight is even worse than it was. She was a little bit more positive in this moment. Okay. I'm going to show you just a portion of it so you recognize, for those of you that are still non-believers, how serious this is.
Headache. And then probably about 3 weeks before we ended up finding out what was going on, I had self-diagnosed myself with I was having migraines. So I went to one of my best friends at the horse show and I'm like, Akal, please help me. I know you have migraine medication. I was so edgy because the pain had become something I had never felt before. And in the emergency room is where they diagnosed me with multiple brain tumors. Cut to, we call Kyle and we're like, how we get into Cedars? And she called around and found a way for us to get in. She's like, but you need to get there by 9 o'clock. And I'm like, it became news to me as post radiation, you lose chunks of your hair anyway. So I'm gonna have to do a second shave. But Cruz made it a little better because he's like, Mom, we can get all the same haircuts. And I'm like, that's so great for you. It's terrible news for me. Great news for you, buddy. I don't think when Vanessa shaved my head, I cared that much. But something that hit me really hard was the first time when I went to go work out. And like, I'm sitting there bald and my entire like body and everything looked completely different because the steroids really affect you. And I tried to run and I couldn't. And that's when everything was like, oh my gosh, Teddi, you are no longer where you were. You can't just jump right back into this. You have to slowly work your way up. And that was pretty devastating to me. I was, at Barry's boot camp, like crying. And the poor guy's like looking at me like, you good? I'm like, no. It actually happened between Edwin and my dad, not me.
So she's clearly like trying her hardest to be positive. She's struggling. There's no question she's struggling, okay? And she's going through it, guys. She's going through it. And for anyone in the comments right now, I see your comments of people that are struggling and going through it, and I'm sending you all the love, okay? All the well wishes and all the healing, and for all the dosers. Cancer is affecting every single one of us right now, currently. I'm too tired to like go through this because I could cry. Obviously, I'm very affected by my heart is hurting. But my love for everyone that's going through this right now, all of us who are being touched by this horrible disease. So it doesn't fly. Do not come in my comments and talk shit about Teddi or of anyone that is struggling with illnesses that are out of their hands. Okay? That's my warning of the day. Teddi Mellencamp finally gets some good news, though, after confirming her stage 4 cancer diagnosis. She did ring the good luck bell to honor her last day of radiation in a video that she shared on Instagram stories. She does have 5 more rounds of immunotherapy to go. She's doing her best. Follow her on Instagram. She's on her stories as much as possible, and she's trying her best to be as positive, but she's being vulnerable. She's being honest. She goes, sometimes I am so alone and I'm so scared. And sometimes I'm getting up and I'm walking when I can and I'm trying to move when I can. She said that she is, getting through every single day as well as she possibly can. Now, yesterday, her separated husband, but they're very much still close, Edwin, who I really, really like and I have a friendship with as well. He had a podcast with Eddie Judge. That's Tamra's husband. They have a podcast together and they opened up and talked about what he's going through. And listen, Eddie is a really good guy. He's a really nice guy. Do I think they had a perfect marriage? Absolutely not. But he is a good guy. And he spoke about kind of how he's been dealing with everything. And he is sharing how he handled the delicate task of keeping the young children informed of what's going on with Teddi. He explained that he and Teddi prefer to be upfront, reasoning that it was better to be direct with them rather than letting them learn the news on the internet. No, so they have kids my kids' age. They have an older daughter that's Edwin's from his previous wife. So she's a teenager. Then they have Slate, who's pretty much Dylan's age, my son's age. So like 12, 13. They have Cruz, who's exactly a little bit older than Oliver. So our kids are very much the same age. And then they have Dove, who's like 4 or 5. He says he would stay home with the kids and try to keep them confident, although they were concerned and scared. Then he says, I tried my best again to not sugarcoat it too much, he said. I called it the way it was. It's like, hey, there's some tumors that your mom has in her brain. And I said, it sounds worse than what it is, but this is what I think it is. This is what I think is going to happen. This is sort of how I think we're going to deal with it. And this is why I think I'm confident that she's going to make it through. I don't know. I just got really sad. It's just really sad to think about a family and young kids. You guys have to remember that they're like I just was mentioning that she has kids my kid's age. It's really sad, you guys. It's a really horrible thing. I just hope she's okay. I mean, I know that she's not okay. That's the thing. She's not okay, and she has no way of knowing if she's going to be okay. Sorry. I told you I'm not very good today because of no sleep. But I need to talk about this because this is important news, you know. And I also don't want to like not talk about it because I don't want to like pretend it's not happening, you know. She says that she's preparing her children for the worst. She has talked to her kids about it. She said she's like made her will together, and she said something in her. I can't even like look at the camera because I don't want to look at your guys' comments. Like I'm scared to look at your comments. So I'm just gonna look here. She said that she said that she's like, it's gonna sound narcissistic, but like I don't want them to go on without me. It's just I can't even like imagine. Anyway, he says, no matter what, I will always love Teddi, and she's been a big part of my life, and I like taking care of people. It's just what I do. So it wasn't even like a question, he said. Anyway, I'm praying for them. I'm really praying for them. I am. And like for anyone, this is not just a Teddi thing. This is like literally such a big problem in the world. So many young families, so many families in general being torn apart. It's just really scary because I talked to, you know, my best friend Valerie is her very close friend, one of her best friends. So I'm so close to it. It's really scary. I just think about my kids. Like my kid plays football on the same football field as her kid. And I just like couldn't imagine my little Oliver not having a mom. So I just like always think about that. I don't know why I'm getting too sensitive and vulnerable with you guys. I'm sorry. Should I cut this shit out? I'm going to cut it out later. Okay. Anyway, please pray for Teddi and don't dare ever say something mean on my comments about her. Can we move on to something a little better, like Jax Taylor? Or Cody Brown? Okay. Thank you guys for your comments. I'll make sure she knows. I was texting with her. So I'll text her that my dosers are thinking about her heavily. Okay. Let's move on to the next story. Everything's fine. You guys, this is just the way it is at Daily Dose of Donna. It's a ride. It's a ride. I'll be okay. I promise I'll be okay. I think a lot of you guys are, you understand, right? You understand the ups and downs. This is real life. Okay. And it's a live show, so I can't be like, hey, be back after this break. Okay, Teddi, Ray is saying text. Oh, okay. She says you have so much support in comments. That's so sweet. Little hands, little hands. I love you guys. Okay. I'm good. I'm totally good. I'm totally good. Let's move on. Jax Taylor. Jax Taylor, motherfucker. Guys won't believe it. When you think Jax Taylor can't get lower, he does. Jax Taylor. Thank God I'm blocked by Jax. You know how there's like a thing where Jax Taylor blocks everyone? Thank God he blocked me. So I don't have to see his ass in my comments. Thank God I don't see Jax Taylor in my comments. I mean, in my feed. Jax Taylor admits to being a walking red flag. Walking red flag, Jax Taylor admits to telling women the lie that he has told past partners when he was unable to perform in bed. Are you ready? So if people have told you this lie, when they were unable to perform in bed, in Thursday's episode of In a Mind of a Man, which, by the way, I do not want to be in the mind of you. I do not want to be in the mind of Jax Taylor. Like, I would be very interested to be in the mind of a lot of men. I would like to be in the mind of Ryan Friedman. I would like to be in the mind of Lance Bowling. I would like to be in the mind of okay, that's the and that's the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. No, I would like to be in the mind of many men, but I would not like to be in the mind of Jax Taylor. And if I would, put me in a body condom, because I think I could get STDs just being in his body. I don't care if it's near his nether regions or his brain. He is not a walking red flag. I think he's a walking STD. I think there is an STD traveling through every little corner of his body. Okay? Okay? So it says that when he knew he was not gonna get there, meaning when he couldn't finish, he would stop the hookup early so he would not insult women. Yep. And imagine him telling people this on his podcast with his nose. You know how he has like a stuffed nose? He admitted he would say, "You know what? I really, really like you. I don't think we should do this right now." He explained, "It takes the pressure off me." And then they're like, "Oh, that's so sweet. I would rather her tell her friends. He was so sweet. He wanted to wait rather than he can't." Okay. The Vanderpump Rules alum believes the latter was a little bit more embarrassing. So basically, instead of saying, like, I can't finish, is this for real a picture? Oh my God, you guys. I have to send myself this picture. You guys have to see this. Oh my God. You guys have to see this picture of him in this. I'm sure you guys have seen this. I have no idea if you have or not, but this is a wild picture. I'm going to send you guys all this picture for Valentine's Day. You're all going to get this picture of a card of Jax Taylor for Valentine's Day. So you can all decide to become, if you're women, you're all going to become lesbians. Oh, this freaking ads. That. It's literally, have you ever dried up so fast? Sorry. Have you ever dried up so with the mustache, with the ick shirt? Like, he's really a problematic person. Everything about him is problematic. And we're going after Justin Baldoni. Like, we've got our priorities are effed. Something is wrong here. Really, can't stand this man. Anyway, he's labeling himself as a walking red flag. Can he be worse? What's worse than a red flag? So his podcast guest, sex therapist Dr. Emily Morris, praised him for using an excuse that would make women feel good. Why is she praising him? This is the problem. Good job, Jax. That's so good that you're making women feel good. Judy says, that killed my libido for all time. My man is going to be upset later because I don't think my lower region works anymore after that. Sorry, husbands of dosers. I just made you celibate. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. Sorry, husbands of dosers. Lance is never going to. Literally, Lance has never looked hotter. My husband has never looked hotter than this moment because I just looked at Jax Taylor. If you guys ever want to think that your like husbands are hot, just compare them to Jax Taylor and you're going to be like, "Oh, take off my clothes, husband. Thank you, Bling is the New Black, for my wallpaper fund. Bling is the New Black has never, like, literally cannot talk to me because of my wallpaper. Thank you so much. Okay, our next story. Kaitlyn Bristowe is opening up, and not her legs. Sorry, had to say it, but ex-bachelorette Kaitlyn Bristowe, host of the podcast Off the Vine, opening up about her relationship with Jason Tartick, and she is not holding back, and I freaking love it. I had no idea it was this bad, you guys, but Jason Tartick and her broke up a few months ago, or maybe now a couple years ago, and we didn't really know why. They were engaged. They had the dogs together. They seemed like this perfect, adorable bachelorette couple, and all of a sudden they break up. We have no idea why. We're dying to know. I was dying to know, and I'm not even a big bachelorette like obsessed person, but I was dying to know why they broke up. And finally, she's opening up. And guys, Jason Tartick looks like a freaking loser. The more he talks, the more I kind of can't stand him. And this is what she has to say about him. She's doing a tell-all episode with her best friend, and she's asking, her best friend Kat is asking all kinds of questions. And this question specifically was something about fears about settling down and past relationship patterns. And this is when she starts talking a little bit about her dogs and co-parenting the dogs. Oh yeah, addressing the rumors about co-parenting her dogs. So let's watch it together.
Just sad. Yeah, it was sad to see. Terrifying. Jason talked to people. I talked to people.
Let me go
what
back
was
a
best
little
for
bit.
both dogs. That they cannot have these dogs who literally, Ramen was found in a ditch with a broken hip from being abused by humans. Pino was on a meat truck on his way to being probably food. These dogs came with severe anxiety. They got so comfortable at home, and to go back and forth, and they were so confused. Ramen would play dead and not want to go anywhere. Pino was like,
it was just sad. Yeah, it was sad to see.
Terrifying. Jason talked to people. I talked to people. What was best for both dogs is to stay in one home. I said I'm no longer willing to co-parent, the back and forth. Never once did I say you can't see the dogs. And so then he went on a podcast and said, I'm not allowed to see the dogs. And his co-host said something like, oh, let me guess, it was around the time of your new relationship. And he went, yeah, I would have never said he couldn't see the dogs.
Has he asked to see the dogs?
No.
Okay.
And when I said I'm no longer willing to co-parent the dogs, that was 2 months after we had been gone back and forth while he was in a relationship. Maybe the public didn't know he was in a relationship, but I did. He told me. And we were doing the co-parenting thing. And as soon as I said I'm not willing to, I'm not saying he's wrong for this because he was in a relationship. She might have been like, let it go.
Yeah.
Some people on the internet were like, let Kaitlyn have the dogs. But he never once tried to see them. And I just can't handle him going on a podcast saying wasn't allowed to see them. Yep, it was around the time of the relationship. No, it wasn't. So that crossed my mind. And if we're really getting honest on this podcast, clearly I'm fired up. I had a shot of tequila before this. So
if I'm being honest,
I think it's mean and pathetic to rescue, not to rescue. Bless you for rescuing. Oh, I'm such a believer in that. But to name your dog, am I going there?
It depends if you like, is there any chance you'll use it?
No, not anymore.
Okay, then send it.
I'm making this clear that it's not that I'm not over him. I'm very much over him. I ended the relationship. I did not want to be in that. It felt icky to me. It felt like everything was for Instagram and numbers. I did not want to be in it. But to get a dog and name that dog my dream baby name that I've had in my baby names for 10 years, that in fact, I even have a text that says to him, huh?
You sent it to me.
I sent it to you. A text. I said the day I met him, I want to name my baby Teddy. Just to wrap that up, I know I seem very angry, but it's more like I don't like feeling disrespected. And I just have so many gross feelings from that because for so long I was made to feel crazy. And now I'm like, oh, I'm not crazy. I just saw what other people are seeing now. And it's just not aligned. What I want out of life is not what he wants. And that is what two people shouldn't be together like that. So I'm not fully angry. I'm just really grossed out and disappointed. And this will probably be the last time I will ever speak on him ever again because I didn't for so long. And that felt really good because I had let it go. And then that kind of just fired
Festered
something up in me again. And I think it's okay to talk about.
How do you manage feelings of life timelines?
I'm going to
Did you guys realize that she had a dog on her this entire time? I swear to God, I just noticed that there was a golden retriever laying on her lap. Like, I didn't see it until just this moment. Did the dog just show up? Am I like, did that dog just show up? That's crazy. It was like the Mandela effect. Like, I was watching the entire episode and now all of a sudden there's a dog. Okay, someone said it wasn't in the beginning. I felt crazy. Okay, it wasn't. Oh my God. Okay, the dog showed up while she was talking about it. That's what happened. Okay, good. Phew. Okay. I was literally sounding crazy. I felt like I was crazy. Listen, I am interested in this story only because there is something about Kaitlyn Bristowe that interests me. Number one, she's really good friends with Kristen Cavallari, who I adore. And number two, I love how she's honest. She's really, really open and honest about everything. She talks about her plastic surgery. She's really like, she doesn't give a shit, which I love. I just cried on camera. So obviously I don't give a shit. But I really like her. And I don't think she's perfect. I think no one is perfect. And I think she's flawed as well. But I find her to be refreshing in some way. And she gets a lot of shit online. But this was interesting to me. And that is psycho. If you're dating a man and you tell them and you're engaged and you say, this is my dream name, my dream list of baby boy names, and the name Teddy is number one on that list, and he knows, and then he goes and has a dog, and he names it Teddy. That is weird. I'm sorry, that's weird. Is that not weird? Don't tell me that's not weird. I would be pissed. Sorry, I would not be happy with that. So I am team Caitlyn on that one. And Jason Tartick is weird. And the fact that he went and started dating that other girl, Kat, who's like a TikTok girl, and they were all good and whatever. And then he broke her heart, or I don't know if she broke up with him or he broke up with him, but he broke up with her and they had some weird breakup. And like, I think he is a little bit cuckoo. Something is going on there. Okay, next. Final story of the day. Because my kids are getting home now from school for 2 weeks, is Southern Charm. Now, Southern Charm wrapped up its reunion from a real effed up season. It was weird. It was a strange season. And all I'm really going to go into are two storylines, Vanita and JT. I need a flow chart. I need a timeline. I need screenshots. I need to know what the hell the timeline is with Vanita and JT. And let me just tell you something. I cannot understand for the life of me what the hell the timeline is with Vanita and JT. It's just as confusing as the Alibaba mystery of RHOSLC, the Real Houses of Salt Lake City, Alibaba mystery. Can't understand it. When did they start talking? When did the girlfriend get introduced? Why was this part of my life? Vanita ran off at the end of the first episode of the Southern Charm recap, ran off. Let me get my phone. She ran off, got her phone, gets it, comes on over to JT, and then shows the phone. And then, it tries to explain there, oh, I have the phone and this is what she did. And then she went over and had she had the phone and he then had a girlfriend and he announced that he had a girlfriend. And I can't believe that he had a girlfriend. Mom, close the door. I'm recording. Oh my God. My mom just walks right in while I'm live on YouTube. Ima, I'm literally live on YouTube. Hi, I love you. Okay. I'll text you. Thank you, Mom. Moms. My kids know not to walk in, but my mom does. I love moms. They never learn. I literally texted her. I'm like, I'm live on YouTube. Please don't come in. She's like, coming on in. And there's construction going on. Sorry, guys. Okay. So makes no sense. Then the craziest part after all of this, she's like, you lied to me. You had a girlfriend. You lied to me. And then Andy Cohen goes, well, Vanita, after all of this, do you want to still date JT? And she goes, yeah. just go find Jax Taylor, Vanita, because clearly you don't have your priorities correct, right? Clearly you don't have your priorities correct. Like, clearly. So if you don't have your priorities correct and you don't want to be with JT, or you want to be with JT even though he has a girlfriend, like, am I supposed to feel bad for you now? Yeah, I kind of do want to be with him. No, I like JT. I have no problem with JT. I think JT is actually the only normal one on the cast now. None of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Finally, then we have the Craig and the Paige storyline that came up. So it was basically all about the breakup. And we basically just talked about the exact same thing over and over and over again about the breakup and why they broke up. And Craig actually said something very interesting. He was like, I do feel a little bit relieved. He said, I think I was in love with the reality, with the thought of like our future together. And clearly I wasn't living in reality. This should open up a lot of people's eyes that Craig truly was blind. He was blindsided and blind. And that is really important. He was hoping that things were going to work itself out, but he said that he was nervous to propose, and not normally nervous, not like a normal nervous. He bought the ring because she said, when are you buying the ring? But he says out loud, I didn't feel very confident proposing to her. I felt nervous about proposing. And that was an interesting take. Now, Craig also had a crazy montage that the editors put together of all the times he lied. And y'all, you know I love Craig, but this man's a liar. He lies multiple times on the show. Craig is a liar. And I'm sorry, if you guys don't see, I love Craig and I love his personality. And I think he's handsome and I love his content on his social media when he dances with that sweet Carla girl who is, you know, she has Down syndrome and they work together and they do all their fun little social media and she's so cute. And I think he has a good heart and I think he's a good person, but he's a liar. Craig is a liar and he's kind of like destructive. And he's also says he's an alcoholic, but then says he wants to go out for a beer with Austin. Like he doesn't have his story straight. And so I understand. But he also does say in this reunion episode, Paige is not a mean girl. He says, Paige is not a mean girl. She was just sticking up for me. So Paige needs to put her weapons down now. And I think it's important that Paige should just, at this point, we need to just let sleeping dogs lie. We need to calm down. Don't you guys agree? Craig is not perfect. Craig's got his issues. And yes, people are saying that everyone is afraid of his temper, and that was interesting. But I do think that Craig's temper had a lot to do with his alcohol consumption. And I don't know if he's necessarily like that when he's sober. And I think that, as Anne Hathaway said, and Kelly, thank you so much for reminding me, everyone needs to calma, and calma. And I really do believe that Craig never backtalked Paige, and he's a good man, and he needs to calm down. Everyone needs to calm down around Craig and Paige. And Paige, I don't think it's over. I think she's going to still go hard on him in the upcoming episodes of Summer House, which is unfortunate. She's going to get the last word. But I don't know. Why is Rodrigo on the show anymore? What does Rodrigo do on that show? At least Leva has the wherewithal to be like, you don't need me. I'm out of here. Molly's cute. The Molly like tuba story is cute. And her body insecurity. I love that. Like, I don't love that she has body insecurity, but I like her realness. The Sally story, I'm like, bye. No, not interested. Taylor does not need to be on that show. Literally, Southern Charm can just be Craig, Austin, Shep, Madison. That's it. And Patricia. That's the cast. Those 5, take them out. Is there an intimacy coordinator for those small hands? No, and I don't want one. I want these small hands to take me to town tonight. Okay. Like these small hands and me need to have some intimate moments. That's how I feel. I need some love and affection and attention from these small hands. And I want these small hands to make me feel things. That's how I feel today. Okay. I'm feeling emotional and I'm feeling tired. So do not judge me and my small hands. Okay. Judy. I don't think that there is a need for a lot of the people on Southern Charm. I think they need to do a shakeup, you know? But don't get rid of Madison and don't get rid of any of those guys. But Rodrigo, bye. And where's Ryan? Ryan, who started this big racist storyline around JT, where'd he go? He like started so much drama and then just never showed up to the reunion. They didn't even invite him to the reunion. So weird. Oh my God. Hair by Teresa. Wow. You guys are funny. I need to get sponsored by Dame again. Remember Dame? Dame gave us a good time for a while there. You guys, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for being here with all of my emotions today. It's been a roller coaster. It's been fun. It's been wild. It's been emotional. It's been amazing. It's been really a ride. And as Jax Taylor said, it's been filled with red flags. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Subscribe to Patreon. I will talk even more openly about everything on Sunday. I will bring out these hands in ways that you won't even know what to do with them. Have a great weekend. I love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.